our land, glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Should be a great day for all of us, particularly Tony Benning of Fort Francis, Ontario. You could win groceries for a year if a kickoff is returned for a TD in today's game, thanks to the Safeway Sobeys $1 million touchdown to win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned for a TD, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Tony. Good luck to the Red Blacks and the Ticats. Rod Black, Dwayne Ford, and the call right after this.
For what it's worth.
Hello, Canada. And those of you watching around the world, it's the CFL Eastern Final. The Hamilton Tiger Cats, second place in the CFL East, winners last week to advance here to the nation's capital to take on the Ottawa REDBLACKS, first in the East with an 11-7 record.
Well, the key for the Hamilton Tiger Cats lies in the hands of their quarterback, Jeremiah Masoli, voted the most outstanding player in the Eastern Conference this season. 2-1 career playoff record. That loss came right here in Ottawa. He goes head-to-head with Trevor Harris. Harris also only one career playoff loss. Very similar numbers to Masoli in an outstanding season for him as well.
In the red-black corner, head coach Rick Campbell. In the gold-black corner, head coach June Jones. Two Eastern heavyweights ready to tussle here on this Sunday, a week before the 106th Grey Cup. Richie Leone's going to kick it off. The Cats won the toss. They elect to receive the football. We're ready to rumble now, and the East Final is underway. And it's Frankie Williams' far sideline, and a good starting point is Leone was booting that into the wind, and here comes Jeremiah Masoli, the 30-year-old quarterback out of San Francisco, the former Oregon Duck, played at Mississippi as well. And Masoli right in the huddle right away.
Yeah, Jeremiah Masoli coming off a terrific performance last week in the Eastern semifinal against the BC Lions. 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. Very efficient outing.
Cat team that talked yesterday about getting off to a good start from the 39. Good protection, going deep for Addison, and it is incomplete. Talk about taking a shot out of the chute. Masoli going deep.
Well, Jeremiah Masoli and the Ticats looking for a very similar start to what they had last week. If you recall, they kind of set the tone going into the wind against BC, and the first pass Masoli threw in that ball game was a deep ball down the pipe to Braylon Addison. And here going for the jugular right away, right out of the gate. Against the Ottawa REDBLACKS, Rico Murray with a terrific defensive play.
Masoli from the gun, second down and 10. Hands it off. Alex Green, left side. The Hamilton Tiger Cats, who had the fewest 2-and-outs in the Canadian Football League this regular season, forced into a 2-and-out in their first possession.
Well, and this is the risk of taking that deep shot on first down. Put yourself in that second and long, going for the key breaker with the handoff to Alex Green, but well defended by the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
Liram Hajrullahu, a year ago, Grey Cup, was with the Toronto Argonauts, had the game-winning field goal on this turf. Now with the Cats, punts it away. And making one miss downfield is Deontay Spencer near the 24-yard line. And here comes Trevor Harris. Dwayne mentioned the one playoff game last year in a loss. 32-year-old out of tiny Waldo, Ohio, played his college ball at Edinboro U in Pennsylvania.
And Trevor Harris had an outstanding 2018 season. Arguably the best of his career, leading the REDBLACKS to a winning record. 3-0 against the Ticats during this regular season. Can he make it 4?
Expect them to move quick. They rarely huddle. Up-tempo team. Harris pulls it back. First down of the game. Right to Deontay Spencer on a 12-yard gain.
Well, you can expect that the Hamilton Tiger Cats are going to test Trevor Harris with pressure. Danya Number reads the running back, sees he doesn't have the ball. He continues on the blitz. Deontay Spencer and Trevor Harris know it's coming. Great adjustment. Spencer ready to receive that quick outlet.
Cats look to blitz. Here it comes. Harris. Craig Ellingson, another very, very good possession receiver. Arguably one of the best in the game. They're super slots for Ottawa, Sinopoli and Ellingson.
Yeah, when you look at this offense, it's so easy to get caught up in the explosiveness of the receivers. Don't sleep on William Powell. Obviously, this is an outstanding two-way back who could play a factor. Little shuffling of the offensive line late in the season. Josue Matias takes over at that right tackle spot. John Gott out of the lineup today with Nolan McMillan returning at right guard.
Second short yardage. The REDBLACKS 4th in the CFL on second down conversions. Harris goes behind center and will hand it off, and there is William Powell bashes and crashes into Hamilton territory near the 52-yard line. A 14-yard second down romp for William Powell.
Keep an eye on Evan Johnson at left guard, number 64. Works off the double team, gets up to second level. And he's just going looking for white jerseys.
Go up the gut again, this time swallowed up. Virtually no gain and some hostilities early in this one. Again, this is the 4th chapter of the Cats versus REDBLACKS in 2018.
And taking a look at this Hamilton Tiger Cat defense, the front, of course, is keyed by number 97, Ted Laurent. Led this team with 8 sacks during the regular season. As you saw early, Danya Numba is a key addition. He's going to be part of that pressure package. On the back end, keep an eye on the wide side of the field. Both starters relatively new to the Ticat secondary, and Josh Johnson at halfback, Frankie Williams at corner.
Another second down conversion for a first down and a flag down. Greg Ellingson, who has been a cat killer through the last few years, and remember, he once was a member of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and already into it, Ted Laurent.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Hamilton, number 26. A 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the play, and a first down Ottawa.
Andre Proulx. Cariel Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks disguising coverage on R.J. Harris. He's coming. That weak side halfback blitz, the hammer. Once again, Ottawa has the adjustment ready. Receivers getting their heads around. Trevor Harris getting the ball out on time.
These two teams have taken a lot of penalties. See how that plays out throughout the season. Ranking among the worst in the league for racking up penalty yardage. Here's Powell. Adrian Tracy from behind, able to wrestle him to the turf. There'll be a throwing down, and again, more jawing, more chirping, and even a headbutt here and there. Hey, it's playoff football.
Well, no question there's going to be emotion, but you got to keep it under control.
And Andre Proulx is the referee. We have an 8th official for the first time. Brought in this week. Maybe down the road. Watch hits on the quarterback. Ben Major is that 8th official today. Second down and 9. Here comes pressure again. Harris delivers inside the 10-yard line. And Julian Feoli-Godino, former star in Laval, former Blue Bomber, former Argo, now a Red Black.
Once again, you're going to see the ball getting out quickly. 3-step drop. Feoli-Godino's on that quick slant, getting inside position on the defender. Frankie Williams set up another Ottawa first down, this time 1st and goal.
REDBLACKS second last in the league in red zone production. They've struggled here. They've had to settle for a lot of field goals. They're looking pay dirt this time on their opening possession. They go up the gut once more. And again, it looks like they'll be going to the air this time on second down. A problem with the Red Blacks this season. This is a team that finished first. Third overall net offense, but their inability to punch balls inside that red zone.
Well, to finish, and especially, Rod, to finish early in football games. Not a team that are noted as great starters, but a terrific opening drive for Ottawa here. It would be huge for them to finish with 6.
Ninth play of this drive. Harris empties it out and throws and caught. And Greg Ellingson down near the 2-yard line. It will be third down and goal. And will they have to settle for a field goal, or do you go here? It's almost at the 3. They are spotting it at the 3. And guess what? Another drive is going to result in a field goal attempt. Now they're booing the fans here, but they love the guy kicking the field goals. He was the star of the show for the Red Blacks this season. The rookie kicker, 48 in a row during the regular season. CFL record, most outstanding special teams player nominee, most outstanding rookie nominee, and he might win both next week in Edmonton. Lewis Ward has his first kick ever as a playoff performer. And the Red Blacks strike first. But the most outstanding player of the East is Jeremiah Masoli. Will he have an answer? The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by Shaw. Proud to present the 106th Grey Cup. A week away in Edmonton. Hamilton Tiger Cats down to 3-0. Field goal by Lewis Ward. And Simone Lawrence and Andre Proulx with a discussion, rather animated while we were away. And Simone Lawrence, by the way, is always animated. He sleeps and he talks.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to Simone yesterday about how amped up he typically is at the start of a football game.
Draw play. Alex Green gets pasted after a pickup of about 3 or 4. How much of a factor is Alex Green in this ball game?
Well, Alex Green is a little bit of an X factor. Everybody gets caught up in the passing game for Hamilton, but again, Alex Green has been very productive running the football, so keep an eye on Braylon Addison. He has been the guy that has eased the pain of the loss of some of those receivers. Brandon Revenberg has been tremendous this season, I think, especially down the stretch for the East Division's most outstanding offensive lineman, former number 3 overall pick for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Red Blacks looking for another 2 and out from the Cats, and getting up off his knees, and there is the aforementioned Braylon Addison, who has become a star in the Hamilton Tiger Cats receiving corps, which has been decimated by injury over the last few weeks.
Well, I want to take a look here before we talk about the receivers. That knockdown block by right tackle Riker Matthews catches the defensive end trying to go inside. There you're getting a little bit of an idea of the footing.
He may not have caught that. That might have been trapped. The crowd reacted as Green plows forward. Ottawa Red Blacks made some curious changes to their rush ends over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, very interesting. Danny Mason and AC Leonard both out of the lineup for the Ottawa Red Blacks. Those are the guys that started the majority of the games. J.R. Tavai in particular hasn't had a lot of CFL experience. He gets the start. Keep an eye on Anthony Chaffee from his nickel or cover linebacker position, and Antoine Pruneau back in the lineup. He missed the stretch runs for this team with injury, but he's back in at free safety, providing experience and leadership.
Second short yardage. Masoli was looking Tasker's way. Goes the other way now, and caught by Justin Buren. The first outstanding catch we've had in this 2018 Eastern Final, might not be the last, as Justin Buren, the rookie, the 5th round pick of the Cats, makes a great grab here.
Interesting splits used by the Ticats receivers on that play with the ball on the right hash. Everybody is lined up from the left hash in, giving Buren and Tasker all sorts of field to work with out there to the wide side. Well-placed ball, terrific catch by the rookie Buren.
23-yard pickup. Swinging it up for Green. First down, Alex Green. Tiptoeing, cutting back, down inside the 10-yard line, and quickly quiets TD Place Stadium. 22 yards on the pass catch and run by the former NFLer, Green Bay Packer draft pick Alex Green.
Well, this is typical of how the Ticats use their running backs in the passing game. You look at their running backs and their yards after catch, literally 100% of their receiving yardage is after the catch for all of their running backs, including Alex Green. Get them the ball behind the line of scrimmage, a little bit of room, let them see the play develop in front of them.
Masoli, Green option, Green has it, Green inside the 5-yard line, down near the 3. And so, similar situation, although it will be 2nd and goal now for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Do you go back to Green? Do you run the football? Do you play option here, or do you go to Mr. Reliable, Luke Tasker?
Do you have any other options?
I got a lot of them. And I'm sure they do too.
Well, we know how important Luke Tasker has been in clutch situations for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It would surprise absolutely no one to see number 17 as the primary target here.
4 receivers to the right. Masoli, read option again, hands it to Green, and he is stopped.
Well, the spot is going to be key here, Rod.
Looks like they're going to spot it near the 1.5-yard line. So now it's a decision for June Jones. And again, Masoli keeps it in the stomach here of Green.
Having a look.
And guess what? Hamilton Tiger Cats punch, counter punch, instead of going for it close to the goal line, are going for the points.
Yeah, being the road team, I might have been a little tempted here to go for it. It's not as long. They look like, as you said, Rod, they're about 1.5, whereas Ottawa was close to the 3-yard line in their 3rd and goal situation. I'd have been tempted to go for it here.
So Lirim Hajrullahu, chip shot, ties it up, and already 2 very interesting trends. 2 teams driving the field, but settling for field goals close to the goal line. Trevor Harris, chip on his shoulder pad, something to prove. Big game player, why not?
This year's
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Type, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. Snowy, chilly, Sunday afternoon. Snowflakes were falling all week long. Yeah, we might see that today. The Peterborough native Brad Sinopoli played his university football right here in Ottawa as a quarterback. Trevor Harris likely will look to him on this drive. Winging it out to the far side, and they find Spencer. Minimal gain and little rough stuff after. No flag down. Already a very physical game, Dwayne.
Everybody's got it all geared up for this Eastern Division final. Then these teams, you got to remember, coming down the stretch, twice in the last 3 weeks of the season, these teams played each other. They've played each other a lot. The familiarity's there. The animosity is still fresh.
Harris. And incomplete, and a flag down. It will be a first down. That was targeted for Brad Sinopoli. Sinopoli was knocked down. This will move
Defensive pass interference. Hamilton, number 11. This will be a 10-yard penalty with an automatic first down for Ottawa.
Eastern Division nominee for most outstanding defensive player, Larry Dean, with the penalty.
Well, you'll see Sinopoli trying to work towards the inside. Larry Dean got caught on that little fake out. Somewhat unintentional contact. He just got caught by the double move.
Deeper drop for Harris this time. Moves the pocket. Now off his back foot. Open man and caught. Cats are saying incomplete, but Greg Ellingson says I had it. Could anyone be more of a thorn in Hamilton's side than number 82, Greg Ellingson?
Yeah, a guy who began his career in black and gold. The Ticats let him walk as a free agent. He's been nothing short of spectacular from the moment he joined the Ottawa REDBLACKS in 2015.
Already a couple of big touchdowns this year. And of course, the one in 2015. Lots of time for Harris. Pocket closing down, and he had to roll out, and he was knocked down. Incomplete.
Well, Trevor Harris is holding on to the football. He's got Brad Sinopoli working to the flat. But you're going to see from Harris's view, from the official's view, the ref cam is waiting for Sinopoli to clear out. That's going to open the window where he's got another receiver sitting down. But by the time that opens up, Lucas Waka was on him for the tackle.
Under 2.5 in this opening quarter of the CFL's Eastern Final. Winner goes to the Grey Cup. First incompletion for Harris, and there's number 2. Sinopoli can't hang on.
All kinds of contact there between Sinopoli and the defender, Ticats All-Star halfback, Cariel Brooks.
Rick Campbell wanting a flag, thinking about throwing the challenge flag.
Yeah, ball's in the air here.
Early.
You saw that contact between the two as Sinopoli was kind of bumped off stride by the Ticat defender.
Through the yellow challenge flag, and that's using it early in the ball game and trying to get some momentum here, keep it going, quite obviously. So CFL command will take it away. They'll look at all the replays to see if this is interference.
Ottawa is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe there was defensive pass interference under number 88. The play will be reviewed.
Away we go to command, away we go to break. Will the Red Blacks keep the drive going? They might have a case here.
No.
After review by the command center, defensive pass interference. Hamilton number 26. The ball will be placed on the 22-yard line. Automatic first down for Ottawa.
Just outside the red zone, the score zone, inside the 20-yard line. So it's at the 22, and already 2 interference calls drawn by Brad Sinopoli.
And you get the impression that the Ticats are trying to keep 88 from getting across the middle of the field. Protect that inside. That's Brad Sinopoli's wheelhouse, his office.
2 minutes to play, opening frame, 3-3 ball game. The Blacks keep the drive going. William Powell with the cutback on this very slick, hard turf. As we were walking over it today, it was kind of crunchy, but in some areas also very hard to get traction.
Yeah, you've had snow on the field, you've had colder temperatures during the week. It's cool, but it's a beautiful day for football today. But the impact over the course of the week on that field is those rubber pellets that are part of this surface have really been packed down, compacted, make it a harder surface than usual to dig into.
Another big down here for the Hamilton D. Trying to limit the Red Blacks to a field goal. Harris, pocket closes, down he goes, football's loose, whistle blows.
His arm appeared to be coming forward as he was hit.
Hamilton.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Swarming that pocket, and again, another drive will be limited to a field goal attempt.
Well, watch from the bottom of the screen, number 21, Simone Lawrence coming off the edge. Bull rush gets underneath the running back, William Powell, and drives his way to the quarterback, Trevor Harris, to disrupt that play.
Lewis Ward, just one miss, happened in his first game in the Canadian Football League. He's already made one in his first playoff game earlier. This one is up, and why not? Can't miss Lewis Ward. It'll be a bigger kick later in the day, we'll see. Simone Lawrence jacked up, knocks down the wall. 6-3 ball game in the Eastern Final. Road to the Grey Cup continues right after this, the Western Final. Blue Bombers and Stamps today for Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific time. A cold one there in McMahon as well. And with more on the weather here today, let's go to our sideline reporter. Here's Matthew Chenet.
Guys, you're already talking about the field surface. I was walking on it even earlier in the day. It is rock hard. That's why Ticats equipment manager Drew Stroshine and RJ James, equipment manager for the Ottawa REDBLACKS. They're the most important people at the start of the game because all of these players are wearing these very typical old turf shoes with a lot of cleated nubs on it. One thing to consider though, the kickers, they're not changing their shoes. The planting leg is going to be so important for them. Their range, is both Liram Haralahu and Lewis Ward told me, it's going to be a little tight for them inside about the 45-yard line, guys.
We'll watch. Matthew, thank you. Final minute, first quarter. Back and forth, these two teams slug it out. Alex Green. So the footwear is so important, arguably so important last year in that Grey Cup. The Argos had seemingly better footing in that second half. And there's Tasker already slip sliding away.
Yeah, and the key to the shoes that you see many of the players wearing, it's not just your typical turf shoe with the many small nubs on the bottom, but on these ones, the cleats are a little bit longer, designed for exactly these kinds of days on an artificial surface, but a little bit harder type surface.
Masoli has to move the pocket. Now he has to run. Skips out of the way, and he's going to have to throw it down the sideline and into the REDBLACKS bench.
Make your getaway with intelligent all-wheel drive in the 2018 Nissan Qashqai.
So a very quick 2 and out for Jeremiah Masoli. Hamilton Tiger Cats. Liram Haralahu. This is going to be the final play of this opening quarter, which has been very cautious so far. 2 good drives. Some good defense. There is a penalty flag here. 2 of them, as a matter of fact. One near the 47, and then one up near that tackle that was made on the return. Will there be one more play here, even though the clock is at zeros?
Hey, you can't go back!
Trevor Harris, a 2-time Grey Cup champion, but as a backup behind legends Ricky Ray and Henry Burris.
Holding. Ottawa number 20. Major foul. Face mask. Hamilton number 4. We're going to move the ball up 5 yards from the 35-yard line. One more play for Ottawa in the first quarter.
One more play barring penalty. Chatted with Trevor Harris yesterday. Very confident quarterback. Let's take a look at the face mask here.
That called against Richard Leonard. Saw the head grazing off that face mask on his way to grabbing the collar with Deontay Spencer.
A lot of talk about Harris and big game potential and big game play. And as he said yesterday, he only started in one playoff game last year, lost it. Close to a first down is Ellingson. Final play of this opening quarter. Early rounds in this fight favor the Ottawa REDBLACKS by 3 points. It's the CFL Eastern Final, a week away from the Grey Cup in Edmonton, here on TSN. Elimination game. One team will go home. One team will go to Edmonton by the end of this today. 3 points separate the Cats and the REDBLACKS. 2 teams that play close football, quite a rivalry. REDBLACKS have swept the season series, and we remember 2015. What have you noticed so far in the start of this one?
Yeah, I think the thing that stands out offensively for both these teams, obviously they seem to be on point offensively, moving the football pretty well. Balanced offenses, running backs very involved for teams that aren't necessarily recognized for that part of their game very much. But that said, even though they're running the football, to me it's not that they're being cautious. I mean, they haven't been afraid. Neither team has been afraid to throw the football down the field. So this time of year, when you expect things to maybe become a little bit more conservative offensively, I don't think the weather is really inhibiting anybody in terms of that offensive game plan today.
Greg Ellingson has 5 catches already in this game. Second in short yardage, it looks like. The REDBLACKS are going to be short here. Hamilton thought the football was loose. Actually may have lost a half yard on this play. Remains Ottawa's football for a third down.
Well, that'll bring out Richie Leone and the punt team.
You see, think some of the tendencies early on, particularly on short yardage, forcing this move, 3rd and 1.
Always around midfield. You see Hamilton leaving most of their defense on the field, despite the fact that it's Ottawa's punt team. Around midfield, you're going punt safe because you're going to be aware of the possibility of a fake.
Richie Leone, towering kicker. Floats one up for Frankie Williams. Turn 1 in the regular season. Going nowhere here. On the sideline also today with us is Jock Climbey. Jock, come in.
Well, I heard you ask Dwayne about his thoughts in the first quarter. I thought I'd chime in here, Rod, and just talk about Jerry Glanville, defensive coordinator for the Hamilton Tar-Cats, and his philosophy. In the first quarter, he tried to dictate the play to Ottawa by bringing blitz or dropping back, but mostly playing zone. Ottawa refused to be dictated to. What they were doing was focusing on quick release. They didn't care what kind of defense they were facing. They were going to get the ball out of their hands and down the field. Now, what they haven't seen yet is man-to-man defense. When we start seeing man-to-man, Trevor Harrell start holding on to the ball, and then we'll see him take some shots.
We will watch. Thanks, Jock. The ball looks like it's live. No, they're whistling it down. Pitch out to Addison, saying it was a forward pass. So another key second down here. There's June Jones over the Hamilton Tiger Cats last year after they were 0-8. Didn't make the playoffs, but they showed some positive steps late in the season. And under June, Jeremiah Masoli has excelled.
Yeah, I think a number of players have really blossomed under the June Jones tutelage.
Masoli pulls it back, and dangerous toss. It's picked off. Anthony Chaffee has it, still on his feet. And the rookie out of Rutgers has a big pick here. First turnover of the ball game. Goes to Anthony Chaffee. Red-black ball at the Hamilton 22.
Well, you don't just rush the quarterback to get sacks. Keep an eye on Avery Williams, middle linebacker for the Ottawa Redblacks. He supplies some pressure here. Alex Green steps up and blocks him. But as Jeremiah Masoli is forced to move, Williams can see where he's moving. He gets a little bit of pressure on him. You put that pressure not just to get sacked, but to cause inaccurate throws, to create mistakes. That's what happened on that one.
Dumping it off, Deontay Spencer's going to score. Will he? Yes, he does. Touchdown. A turnover that turns to points, and Deontay Spencer is joining the panel a little early right now.
Well, I'll tell you, Milt Stiegel's not used to being the second most popular number 85 any place he goes.
Oh, you're right.
But it's no contest here in Ottawa, as Deontay Spencer is the man of the moment. Sudden change. Ottawa goes after it. Motion Spencer across the formation. Hamilton has trouble picking him up. Quick hitter to the fastest man on their offensive unit. Deontay Spencer dives for the pylon. Reaches Peter.
They're reviewing the touchdown, and the Red Blacks will huddle now, so it is a touchdown. After the turnover, the interception by Chaffee. This is a team that has scored more two-point converts and attempted more than any other team in the league. And here they line up again. Very rarely go for one, always go for two. Harris gonna hand it off, and there it is. William Powell, the deuce. And Anthony Chaffee's first CFL interception comes in a playoff game. A guy who had 8 Rutgers that enabled Deontay Spencer to take the ball from Trevor Harris and bullet into the end zone. Here's the pick.
Yeah, there you see the throw that gets away from Masoli under pressure. Anthony Chaffee has had a terrific rookie season for the Ottawa REDBLACKS. Comes up with the interception, and on the very next play, it's Trevor Harris to Deontay Spencer for the major.
Turnover's such a big part. There's 85 down there with Matty and 85 and Anthony Chaffee, the biggest play in this game so far, that interception. The REDBLACKS turn those turnovers into points usually, and they do. Big one. Ottawa team that was third in the CFL in the turnover ratio. The Hamilton Tiger Cat team that was second last. The Toronto Argonauts had a worse turnover ratio. We'll see how this plays out here. Cats have to respond. Williams, flag flies, has a block, and another. Frankie Williams accelerating to Ottawa territory.
Hamilton, 29 Hamilton for home.
And it'll come back. Heard Andre Prue. So that return will be wiped off the board.
During the return, holding Hamilton number 29. A 10-yard penalty and a first down for Hamilton.
Cost them 43 yards. Already penalties proving a bane for the Hamilton Tiger Cats and June Jones. Long field, 100 yards to the Ottawa end zone. Start on their 10. Sold out TD Place Stadium is amped up.
Keep an eye on the Ottawa defender. No, bit of a touchy one, it looked like.
Masoli. And over the top. First down. First catch of the afternoon from Luke Tasker. 20 yards. Luke Tasker, another monster effort last week in the rout of the BC Lions.
And everybody knows Tasker becomes that much more important to the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the absence of Brandon Banks, their go-to guy. Clutch receiver, 3 catches, 70 yards. That terrific touchdown last week.
Here comes the blitz. And Alex Green, the handoff. Luke Tasker, last 9 games. Remember, he was banged up a little bit, but production certainly peaking towards the end of the season, and also because he's the most targeted guy with Brandon Banks, Jalen Saunders, Terrence Tolliver, Chris Williams, Shamar Chambers, all out of the lineup.
Yes, sir. Last man standing. Luke Tasker, but he doesn't mind shouldering the load.
Likely hear a lot from him today. Part of the mustache brigade in Hamilton. Pump now from Masoli and caught up near the 50 by Addison. Braylon Addison, another former Oregon Duck. Spent some time in the National Football League with the Bears and the Broncos. Former high school quarterback, an option quarterback down in Texas.
Yeah, became a receiver during his college career. Braylon Addison, this is a guy who, prior to week 21, had 1 catch. Goes out, week 21, final game of the season for the Ticats, gets into the lineup, is arresting some people, goes off for over 100, basically forced his way onto the playoff roster, and he was a monster last week.
Flag down, high point catch. So first down, we'll see what the flags are, though. They were on both sides of the field near the Ottawa 48. Again, here's Andre Prue.
Offside. Ottawa, number 24. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down for Hamilton.
Well, you have to like the response from the Hamilton Tiger Cats. After the turnover, the interception led to a quick touchdown for the Ottawa REDBLACKS. A strong response on the kickoff return, despite the holding penalty. And good-looking offensive drive right here.
High cover again. Alex Green barreling for almost 18 yards. Alex Green also had a slow start to the season. In fact, had a no start to the season. Hand injury kept him out until week 8.
You've got the backside tackle, Kelvin Palmer, with the pull and the kick out on the weak side linebacker. Big 63 leading the way. Alex Green just turns it north-south after that kick-out block for a big gain.
Another first down, Green again. Oh, he's hit hard, sandwiched, and Kai Hebert, CFL's nastiest player, comes flying in. And here's what Alex Green has done in only his first 15 CFL games.
Yeah, the number that stands out, 13 touchdowns in 15 games, approaching 100 yards of offense per game. Former Hawaii Warrior.
9 carries, 40 yards already for Alex Green. Second down and 9 from the Ottawa 31. Deafening here. Masoli, flag again, and up near the 25-yard line. It's Mike Jones, national receiver, born in Texas, but Canadian roots. Granddad, who was a former Canadian welterweight boxing champion, and Clyde Gray. He had a breakout year, Mike Jones.
Offside. Ottawa, number 24. A 5-yard penalty. It will remain second down.
The penalty seesaw starting to tip a little bit now.
Yeah, definitely. Hamilton was the team that had a little bit of penalty trouble in the first quarter of this ball game. Anthony Chaffee trying to time up those blitzes from his linebacker position. Has gone offside a couple of times on this possession.
We have 5 to that. Second down and 4 yards to go. Green in the backfield, Masoli in the gun. 8.5 to go before halftime. Read option. Green has it. Has the first. Spins now. Down near the 10. Alex Green, impactful already. 14-yard burst.
Well, you're going to see some nice patience from Alex Green as he gets up to the line of scrimmage. He's kind of let things clear up a little bit. Big collision between Kelvin Palmer pulling again and Kai Hebert right in front of him. He's got to stutter his feet. A couple of nice moves to fight off contact and move the sticks.
Cats know after giving up that ball and that touchdown, have to keep it close here. Masoli floats it out. Tasker chopped down. Nice tackle. Antoine Pruneau.
Pruneau was on his way out there looking to make the tackle on Tasker. It looked like this could turn into a potential touchdown as you're going to see Pruneau blows a tire. But stumbled in the right direction to make the shoestring tackle on the Ticat receiver.
Pruneau, who's had a thumb injury, finally back after missing weeks in his normal spot. One of the best free safeties in the Canadian Football League. Key second down on the 10th play of the drive. Masoli looks right and has his man, but it's a one-hopper. Or Markway McDaniel, who a year ago played on this field in the Grey Cup game for the Calgary Stampeders. And now with the Cats, is that one skips up.
Yeah, close. But you can see that tip of the football just barely touched down as McDaniel puts his hands on the rock.
One of the most sure-handed receivers this game has seen over the last few years. To catch a lot of balls from Bo Levi Mitchell. Haralahu to make it closer from close range. 8-point ball game. Now the most outstanding Canadian nominee again from the East is Brad Sinopoli, targeted a couple of times today. Former quarterback turned receiver, turned all-star. Native, former hockey star, lacrosse star, now a football star. CFL record, most catches in a season among Canadians in 2018.
Yeah, phenomenal season for Brad Sinopoli, a terrific career he has carved out here with the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
Few snowflakes starting to fall here. Trevor Harris dumping it off near the 40-yard line. Out of the backfield goes William Powell, also a former NFLer. Arizona, Kansas State. Biggest word for him, healthy.
Yeah, when healthy, which he has been throughout this 2018 season, among the most dangerous, most productive players in the Canadian Football League.
Might we have a redo of 2016 here? Oh, look this! Is Powell near the midfield stripe. A couple of years ago, it came down here. Snow piles. We'll see how much snow we'll get, but we're seeing William Powell plow his way right now.
Yeah, William Powell getting it done with a little help from his friends again. Watch the work of Evan Johnson, University of Saskatchewan product, second-year man.
First round pick, 9th overall. Last year. Wayne talked about the impact that Powell has when he's not banged up. Yards from scrimmage, even though he did not win the CFL rushing title, he had more yards per game than any other back.
Yeah, you see those yards from scrimmage carrying the rock. Catching balls.
REDBLACKS good on second down. Not this time though. R.J. Harris first reception up near the 50. They were 6 for 9, and see where the spot is. It's going to be close. A favorable spot here.
Well, Dominic Davis and the short yardage unit are out on the field in a hurry.
Dominic Davis also threw on 3rd and 1. Last time these teams met, touchdown to Ellingson. Sure he's doing that this time. Has players in motion, look for a plunge, a sneak. He does. Mission accomplished. Drive continues.
That play you referred to, Rod, the last meeting between these two teams at Tim Hortons Field. Early in the ball game, 3rd and 1 gamble. Of course, everyone's anticipating the sneak. And Ottawa decided to take the shot. Davis coming off the bench cold. Steps back and throws a bomb to Greg Ellingson. Ticats kind of forgot about Ellingson in coverage. A huge touchdown that kind of set the tone for the day.
Davis, a short yardage guy. If the REDBLACKS get down near the goal line, expect to see him. High snap. Trevor Harris hanging in. And there's Sinopoli. His first catch. And it's a first down. 13-yard gain.
Snap comes in a little high. Harris recovers. You see the eyes are already downfield as he brings that in. Not thrown off his rhythm at all. You heard Jock talk about it. Getting the ball out of his hands on time. He's not going to let anything stand in his way.
I formation. Harris, though, slings it to his left. He's been spreading the wealth, as he often does. One thing about this team, they'll no huddle once again. They have a Justice League of receivers in so many ways. All these different receivers who have different skill sets. 3-minute warning. 6 different receivers already for Trevor Harris. Marching the ball with an 8-point lead in the CFL's Eastern Final on TSN.
When I first started,
The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by BDC, the only bank exclusively devoted to entrepreneurs. 14-6. The Ottawa REDBLACKS lead the way. Biggest play in the game, an Anthony Chaffee interception that turned into a touchdown by Deontay Spencer. 22-yard romp. Pass from Trevor Harris. Harris trying to get the Cats to jump here. They load it up and bring a 4th. And Harris steps up and pegs one in. Clutch catch again. That is what Brad Sinopoli does so well. There is a flag near the Ottawa sideline.
Illegal contact on receiver, Hamilton number 37. That penalty is declined. Result of a play is a first down for Ottawa.
Such a quarterback-friendly receiver in Brad Sinopoli. Guy who doesn't mind taking the contact. Has grabbed a lot of footballs through his time. What a remarkable ride, Dwayne.
Well, yeah, you look at Brad Sinopoli. We've talked about this before. I mean, the thing that characterized his 2011 draft was receivers. Four receivers picked in the first round. Sinopoli goes 29th overall and proves to be the best of the bunch.
Powell breaks through. First down. Making everybody miss. William Powell, 14-yard. Rumble from 29. Just outside the 10-yard line.
Watch William Powell lower the shoulders. Come out on the other side of that contact.
Another clock-chewing drive. 10th play. 2 minutes to go. And near the goal line is Ellingson. Right now, Hamilton's D struck with no answers.
Watch Unamba come. He's free off the edge. Three-man, completely unblocked. But again, Trevor Harris recognizes it. Greg Ellingson recognizes it. The ball gets out before pressure can get there, and the receiver's ready for it. They're prepared for the pressure package.
Harris, open man, touchdown! J.C. Beaulieu. They lost him. Wide open. Beaulieu's second touchdown of 2018, first of the playoffs. Brilliant play call, in tight.
Watch Beaulieu from the tight end position on the left side of your screen. He's going to release to the corner. Nobody goes with him because you've got a receiver going to the flat. The corner stays down on that. Nobody's going deep with J.C. Beaulieu, fullback. The forgotten man. Wide open in the end zone. The playoff touchdown. 11 plays, 75 yards.
No two-point convert this time. But 6 points from Trevor Harris again. Couple of touchdown passes now. This one to J.C. Beaulieu. Jamie Elizondo, great play call. Red Blacks open up a lead.
Back at TD Place in Ottawa, under 2 minutes till halftime coming up. The panel with their thoughts on that first half, including the sequence that led to the first Ottawa touchdown. We'll also hear from James Duthie and Davis Sanchez in Calgary on the Western final later today between the Stampeders and the Blue Bombers. Back upstairs to Rod and Dwayne.
Those guys look warm down there, man. It's a nice little hut they got.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. They got the bar going. They got a barbecue. Man. 1:50 to go before halftime. Hamilton looking to respond again. Cannot let this get away from them. Second touchdown scored by J.C. Beaulieu.
There's a secret sauce right there.
The secret sauce.
Well, I'll tell you what, my beloved fullbacks, they're the Rodney Dangerfields of the passing game. They get no respect. Absolutely nobody thinks he's going to release as a receiver. They're far more worried about the other receiver in the flat. They let him sneak in behind.
You're
working to the
so
corner.
happy.
Nobody goes with him.
Hey, look at you smiling.
Well, little love for my fullbacks.
Rightfully so. Wayne Ford, two-time Grey Cup champion, great fullback in his time. Handed off to Sean Thomas Erlington, his first touch. Key second down coming up again here. Otherwise, Ottawa could get it back and pile more points on.
Yeah, Hamilton, you think back, second last game of the season when these two teams met here in Ottawa, it seemed to be all Hamilton for most of the first half of that ball game. Ottawa had a response just before the half, just before the break. That's exactly what Hamilton needs now to turn the tide.
Full out blitz and another interception. And it's Jonathan Rose down the sideline. Down he goes to the 10. Jeremiah Masoli throws a second interception that could lead to another touchdown here. The pick and a 59-yard return by the corner, Jonathan Rose.
Well, watch for Kai Hebert coming unblocked down the pipe. Jeremiah Masoli seems to see him coming and gets rid of that ball early. He recognizes he can't step into that throw because he's got a guy coming A-gap right in his face. That leads to the throw being short. Jonathan Rose sees it coming. 5 picks in the regular season, but that's his biggest one in 2018.
Red Blacks look to make the Cats pay once more. Inside the 10. Play action. Harris stands in and touchdown! Deontay Spencer, number 2. Another pick that turns into 6. More points off of turnovers, and Trevor Harris has thrown 3 touchdown passes in the first half.
Yeah, and this one comes off play action. You know how much William Powell has carried the rock in the first half of this football game. Hamilton's got to respect that. They kind of get their feet planted on the run fake. That gives Harris plenty of time to set up and deliver the strike to Deontay Spencer.
This time they line up for the single point. Lewis Ward to make it 27 points.
Big balls and big games, baby. Go sit.
And an outstanding first half. An incredible second quarter. Led by their defense for the Ottawa Red Blacks. Everything is coming up roses.
And here you'll see Jonathan Rose is out on the corner. And he's able, eyes into the backfield the whole way, so he sees this throw coming. It's not going to reach Mike Jones. Rose perfectly positioned to make a play on the football. Big return. Sets the Red Blacks up in close. And just like the last interception, on the very next play, Red Blacks go straight for the end zone. Harris to Spencer.
Trevor Harris, who has operated since he came into the league with incredible efficiency, high percentage.
Yeah, he made that happen. He made that happen.
JR.
Hey, man. I know the whole Louisiana watching.
Takes it down to the 10, and Harris takes it to the house. 10 straight completions for Trevor Harris. And again, 3 touchdown tosses. Hamilton Tiger Cats right now are reeling. And look at the eyes of Jeremiah Masoli right now.
Jeremiah Masoli is a guy who's faced adversity before, as have many of the veteran Tiger Cats.
He looks like the BC Lions did last week at the half. It's 27-6. Lions didn't know what hit them. And this has happened suddenly to the Cats. Do not count them out, though. Williams up near the 48. Nice return. So 58 seconds to go before halftime. Let's go check in with Jock Limey.
Guys, I've been watching Jeremiah Masoli, and he's his usual calm self. He's always played with such poise, and on that interception, it was clear to me that he actually he wasn't on the same page with receivers. That was not a question of a guy being on his face and his short throwing it. He was expecting his receiver to run a different pattern than he did. And I love what Ottawa did. Great offenses believe in sudden change. If you get a turnover, you don't hand the ball off, you don't dump it down, you go for the end zone. That's what they did. Touchdown, Red Blacks.
SCO, sudden change opportunity. Masoli, chucking, Addison to get out of bounds here. Lots of clock to work with. And like last week for the BC Lions, remember we talked about them, they were down with a big deficit. Imperative for the Lions to get points on this drive. Get something positive before halftime.
Yeah, absolutely critical to kind of stop the bleeding here when you're the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Anything to change the momentum of this ball game.
They are also a very quick strike ball club. #1 in net offense this season. Masoli's got loads of time. And this ball is overthrown. Looking for Justin Buren, but that had a little bit too much steam on it. So it's second down. Masoli had a lot of steamboats on that play. Well, they're out of field goal range. They've got to get it at least down to the 40 here. Keep this drive alive. Red Blacks rush 4. Masoli, near side. Addison going backwards, and he's not going to get to the first down marker. And now he will, because it's a 15-yard penalty. And now Jonathan Rose is in the middle of it. And we've got a full Donnybrook down there.
In his fire to try and get it to Hamilton Tiger Cats, Jonathan Rose pushed the official over top of the pile.
Dusted one. Addison was about 4 yards short of a first down and out of field goal range, probably against the wind, but this penalty will keep the ball moving. Rose.
Jonathan Rose will be lucky to stay in this football game.
Yes, he will. Melee on the Tiger Cats bench. Let's take another look here. Rose, there's the 15 yards.
Taken down, harshly out of bounds. He's pushed away by a Tiger Cat, but you see him barge through the official, trying to get back at whoever shoved him.
You can't touch an official.
There's the official getting knocked over the pile.
And then there's a face mask. Jonathan Rose, for all that he has done to change this ball game in the second quarter, may have changed it in a negative way now for the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
There's 2 infractions in the play. The first one, major foul, unnecessary roughness, Ottawa #9. That will be a 15-yard penalty.
They might toss him here.
The second foul.
They are tossing him.
It's going to be a disqualification. Ottawa #9 for running into an official. We're going to go after distance after the first 15 yards and a first down for Hamilton.
So Jonathan Rose, long lonely walk accompanied by 2 officials after taking a zebra out on the Hamilton bench. Out of the ball game, and huge yardage piled up afterwards.
Well, we said it in the opening minutes of this football game, Rod. You expect things to be emotionally charged in the playoffs. You expect things to be emotionally charged when you have a couple of teams meeting for the 3rd time in about a month. Division rivals. But you've got to keep it under control. And in that moment, Jonathan Rose, a key defender for the Ottawa REDBLACKS, among the league leaders in interceptions this season. You just mentioned a huge play in this ball game. Kind of lost it in a critical moment there. And now it's the rookie, Justin Howell, on the corner.
30 yards in penalties, 37 to go for Hamilton. Rose is out after pushing down Jocelyn Paul, the back judge. Penalty flag. Tight coverage down near the goal line, and it's Addison again. Let's see what the call is, though. Clock ticks down near 30 seconds before halftime.
Offside. Ottawa #43. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a first down.
So as bad as it has been for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in this second quarter, chance for some redemption here. An offside call. They'll take it down near the 2. Remember, they could not punch it down into the end zone in a previous visit.
Yeah, they've got no choice but to go for it whatever happens here.
Well, they got to watch the clock, too. 22 to go. They're going to throw. Masoli over the top, and falling down was Tasker. But there is a penalty flag at the goal line.
Well, Hamilton looked like they're trying to create a rub.
Defensive holding. Ottawa #24. We're going to go after distance, and it's going to be first down.
Watch for Markway McDaniel, who's going to motion. He's going to be wide open in the flat. So they create some traffic inside. Little pick on the inside. They're looking for Tasker, but look at McDaniel in the flat. Would have been an easy throw, easy touchdown.
Dane Evans, the backup quarterback out of Tulsa. Come in for the short yardage. Time for 2 plays here before halftime. Late substitution for Ottawa. Evans just lines him up. He's going to call his own number here. Goes left side, and he is not getting in. Clock ticking down to 12. REDBLACKS defense pumped up. Goal line stand here.
Yeah, regular offense is coming back on the field.
So they'll bring Masoli back.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they have to do. They have no choice but to go for the touchdown here. Field goal means absolutely nothing to the Hamilton Tiger Cats right now. To give up, to score a field goal, quite frankly, to settle for that is a loss for the Tiger Cats on this in this exchange.
They bring Green in the backfield. Masoli in the gun. Clock ticking down to 8 to 7. And a whistle.
Timeout, Hamilton.
Hamilton late calling that timeout. You know, the clock was at 12. Even if you had not made it on this down, you might have had some more time. I'm not sure they're going to have enough time if they don't get in on this play. You always had a potential for a third down play with 12.
Hamilton called a timeout with 0 seconds left on the clock.
Hamilton looked like they had waited too long, so they're not going to get another chance here unless there's a penalty. This is going to be the final play before halftime.
Well, this is huge for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Masoli in the gun, throws, and it is a touchdown. That took a while. Somehow they were able to hang on. Mike Jones bobbles it and is somehow able to hang on to this. Now, Jones has made circus catches this season. This is off the charts.
Yeah, it's just one-on-one. They went quads to the other side of the field.
Oh,
he is getting taken down.
That is an incredible catch.
And the REDBLACKS are trying to argue that he didn't have control of the football. When you watch how quickly it's snatched away.
I think he had it.
Yeah, I think Mike Jones secured that one.
That is
mammoth effort and a clutch moment for Mike Jones.
Clutch catch. Able to clutch it and hang on. They're looking at it at command. I can't see this being taken away.
There's a bobble, but Jones has 2 hands. 2 hands on the ball, securing it.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
Rick Campbell's looking at the big screen. We'll await the verdict. They put the points up on the scoreboard already. I think right here it says that.
Yeah, he's got 2 hands on the football.
Yeah. Then it is pulled away after. What an extraordinary effort from Mike Jones. So a final decision on this final play will have the convert the point after. It will still be a 2-possession ball game heading to the second half, but how big was that touchdown by the Hamilton Tiger Cats? That was mandatory. Here it is.
After review by the command center, the ruling on the field stands. We have a touchdown.
Confirmation. They needed a quick strike shot. They got it.
Oh, they sure did. 7 plays, 62 yards. 31 passing yards, 31 penalty yards on the drive for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Iralahu puts the 13th point on the board. 2-possession game, but it was looking like the Ottawa REDBLACKS could have sealed it at the half. Instead, it's very interesting as we head to the second half. The Ottawa REDBLACKS 30 minutes away from another trip to a Grey Cup. Maybe. Here's Rod Smith.
Thank you, Rod Black. Back down at field level in the northeast corner of the TD Place here, along with Henry Burris, Matt Dunnigan, Milt Siegel. Wow. I mean, what an ending to this half. And so much to talk about and chew on here. I mean, the REDBLACKS, Matty, in complete charge of this football game, and they still have a 2-touchdown lead, but talk about breathing some life into an opponent that looked beaten. And Jonathan Rose, who had a big play earlier for him, really hurt them in that half.
Yeah, Ron, it is really difficult there at the end of the second half because this was just a boneheaded play. Yeah. Out of bounds. I mean, that was ridiculous. And then he continues to go after, and he makes contact with the official. That's automatic disqualification. And now you've got the Hamilton Tiger Cats going into halftime thinking that they're still in this football game, and they have no business being because they've been dominant. Certainly the REDBLACKS have in the first half.
I mean, they've been dominating Hamilton, like you mentioned. And the fact is, you can't let the moment or the game get bigger than you. Yes. And that's what Jonathan Rose allowed that moment to do. Now he's breathing, like you mentioned, a second bit of life into Hamilton. But look at it, guys. Hamilton, they've been shooting themselves in the foot all game long. They're the second most penalized team in the league. They're the second most givingest team when it comes to turning the ball over. But then as a defense, your job is to get them off the field, and you go and you say, you know what, here's another chance for you, Hamilton. I mean, this is sad to see.
I hate to use the word dumb. I tell my sons all the time, don't use the word dumb, but I have to say it, that's a dumb play.
Yeah.
Jonathan Rose, after making that great play, no one's going to remember that, especially if Hamilton comes back and win the game. 27-6, that could have been the score going into halftime. Instead, it's 27-13. Big problem.
You go back to last week, why Hamilton had a blowout win over the BC Lions is because they created 31 points off of 6 BC Lion turnovers, and the Ottawa REDBLACKS completely flipped that on the Hamilton Tiger Cats here in the first half up until Jonathan Rose did what he did.
Right.
But let's go back to that catch of Mike Jones.
Yeah.
You talk about a phenomenal effort.
Yes.
This guy, he a little bit of embarrassment during the regular season. One went off his face mask and a sure walk-in touchdown. Well, that right there was the thing of beauty and a play that the Hamilton Tiger Cats desperately needed to get back in this football game.
And you think about the first 3 games, the big difference in those games for the Tiger Cats, you look at Mazzoli's numbers and you look at Trevor Harris' numbers, was 4 interceptions by Mazzoli compared to Trevor Harris, none. And that's the big difference in this game right now. Mazzoli, those big crucial interceptions leading into points. He still has an opportunity to win this game, but he has to come out in this second half and play almost mistake-free football.
Well, listen to the crowd, though. The crowd.
BC Lions 28-0 at the half. They're down 27-13 thanks to a late score in the second quarter in the CFL's Eastern Final. Here's Matthew Shinetti with linebacker Simone Lawrence.
Simone, you're the heartbeat of this team when it comes to emotions. Take us to the locker room at halftime.
Hey, man, it's one of those things that don't got to be said, you know. Those guys already cashed they check in and to go to the Grey Cup. That's the way they act, and then we got to prove them different.
Take us to what happened on the sidelines when Jonathan Rose came over there.
I don't know. It's just fake. Nobody's going to do anything on – it's football, man. Nobody's going to beat nobody up on the football field. It's not real. You don't take stuff like that serious.
Thanks, Simone.
Yep.
Do you concur? You don't take any of those fights serious?
Yeah, you really don't, honestly. I mean, everybody's wearing helmets and face masks.
Andre Proulx chatting with Rick Campbell. So we talked about Hamilton and being paramount to score late in that second quarter. They did. Now Ottawa gets the ball here. Deferring to the second half. They get the ball, take it right away. Try to get some momentum back with Trevor Harris, 17 of 19, looking to pile on here.
Yeah, Trevor Harris was terrific in the first half of this football game. Had a couple of short fields, very short fields to work with, courtesy a couple of interceptions provided by that Ottawa defense. But a typical efficient Trevor Harris outing, completing passes for a high percentage. But Jamie Elizondo called a terrific first half of this football game. We'll see if they can maintain momentum here. The final 30.
11 straight completions. This one to R.J. Harris. Hamilton defense was on the field a lot in that first half, unable to induce a turnover. Heard Simone Lawrence and the emotions that are playing into this game.
Well, I suspect that both teams will use that halftime break to kind of take a deep breath and hit the reset. The defensive coordinator, Jerry Glanville, doing a few new tricks this week, playing a lot of three-man front thus far. Three linemen, four backers.
Catch from Ellingson. Trevor Harris firing the heat on, and another big gainer, big play. Almost 30 yards on that strike. Out of the locker room into Hamilton territory.
Yeah, nice pocket created by the offensive line, allowing Trevor Harris to step up. Greg Ellingson quietly having a big day for Ottawa.
Play action. Trevor lays it in once more. What a move here. R.J. Harris finally pushed out into our TSN signage near the 10-yard line. Trevor Harris is humming right now. Look at this cutback from R.J. Harris.
Well, R.J. Harris is often a bit of a forgotten man in all the conversation about Sinopoli, Ellingson, and Spencer. But he's proven to be a terrific compliment here in his first Canadian Football League season. Really kind of found his niche within that receiving core as the season went on.
"13 straight now for number 7. Harris standing in. Look out here. End zone. Touchdown. Marco Dubois. First CFL touchdown comes in his first CFL playoff game. Right now, Trevor Harris is painting a masterpiece.
Well, I love the poise that Trevor Harris shows on this play. He's going to go and save the football for Marco Dubois. Dubois lined up as the right tight end on this play, sneaks across the formation. Nobody follows him from that tight end spot. He just sits it down. Harris reads over to that backside and finds him.
Rare blemish from Lewis Ward on the point after. Not many mistakes today, though, for the Ottawa REDBLACKS, especially Trevor Harris. Marco Dubois' first CFL touchdown he'll never forget came in the CFL's Eastern Final. Former star with the Laval Rouge et Or playing for the REDBLACKS.
Well, the Ottawa REDBLACKS pick up right where they left off here to start the third quarter. Trevor Harris keeps his completion streak alive. Connecting with Greg Ellingson, then R.J. Harris, then Marco Dubois for the touchdown. Widening the margin to 20 points.
You think this guy's a little excited this weekend? As is this guy. Drinks out his shoes normally, now adding an accessory.
He's up in his game for the playoffs.
Yep.
Everybody's adding accessories to the celebrations.
20-point game again. Long road for Frankie Williams in the Cats. Williams high-stepping. Nice return. Pressure on Jeremiah Masoli and the Hamilton Tiger Cats once more. And the Ottawa REDBLACKS do exactly what they needed to do, and that was score on that opening drive.
Yeah, came out and sent a message, and that was the reset for Ottawa. Now it's up to Jeremiah Masoli. His first half marked by a couple of interceptions that ultimately led to Ottawa touchdowns, but finishes it off with a touchdown pass. Great catch by Mike Jones. Masoli hoping he can build on that here in the third quarter.
Masoli is going to Edmonton next week. Wants to bring his teammates with him. They need an enormous boost here. Look at one from Luke Tasker. Difference in starting point. Now keep in mind that number skewed by turnovers, but Hamilton starting this drive exactly where their average starting position was, near the 33. Ottawa, on the other hand, crazy number.
Yeah, remarkable. When you look at the difference between the two teams in the first half, Ottawa averaging starting in Hamilton territory. That's boosted by a couple of interceptions that provided very short field. Hamilton's average start position, their own 33.
Masoli got hammered. Did complete the pass, but he got up really quickly. He's all right. Completed pass. It's an injured Red Black.
Here comes the heat. Tyndall off the edge. Supplies the pressure and the hit, but Masoli gets the completion to create second and short situation. It's like about 2nd and 2.
Had many injuries in this one.
That's
Avery Ellis, who was inserted into the starting lineup this week. Had been there previously. Danny Mason taking over that rush end spot. And again, we talked about AC Leonard and JR Tavai moving in.
Yeah, Avery Ellis had a terrific year in 2017 for the Ottawa Redblacks. Injured a lot of this year. Danny Mason and AC Leonard got the bulk of the starts at the two defensive end spots through the season, but as Ellis returned, kind of rounding back into form, worked his way back into that starting lineup.
Second down conversion attempt again for Hamilton after the catch by Addison. Cats were 5 for 11 in the first half. Ottawa 6 for 10. Masoli, deep drop, throws it again to Addison. Another first down, brought down near the 37-yard line. It'll be a 15-yard pickup. He's slow to get up as well. This is all the Hamilton Tiger Cats need right now.
Receiving core that has battled injuries.
And they don't have many backups in their lineup.
Well, no, I mean, they have been tested in terms of depth. You know, when you just look at the sheer number of injuries, and we've talked about it a lot coming down the stretch this season. Ill afford to lose Braylon Addison, who has been a go-to guy for Jeremiah Masoli the last couple of weeks.
We'll step aside and come back to TD Place Stadium at Lansdowne Park in Ottawa. Leafs hockey continues Friday. The Leafs face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern on TSN 4 in the Leafs region and on TSN 1050.
I'll be there.
Big Leaf fan, I know that.
I'll be there.
Ticats on the move. Addison on the sideline. Looks like he's all right. See what happens here as Alex Green gets gobbled up. And I don't know if there are any truth to the rumors that Jock Climby has signed a contract to actually get in the lineup with all the injuries going down, but he is on the sideline. Here's Jock.
I would want no part of playing in this football game. Dwayne and I are very happy with holding the microphones. And here's the other thing that the Red Blacks are happy with, and that's the fact that up by 20 points, they know the Hamiltons have to change their offensive philosophy. Talking to Hamilton's coaches before the game, they wanted to run the ball. They did that. 10 carries, 54 yards in the first half for Green. But now their linebackers are pinning their ears back or dropping back in the pass coverage.
Masoli sets up a screen. Nobody's home. That could have gone the other way very easily. Corey Tyndall was in the vicinity and would have taken it the distance. So the drive stalls here. It will be third down, and Hairolahu comes out. This is against the wind. It'll be about 44 yards. Going to be almost like a 51-yard kick here. Tasker with the hold. Kick is up, and look at that. Find its way through. Burrows into the wind. 3 points on the board for Hamilton, now down 33-16.
And some of these opportunities where typically in a game, we talk about the importance of field position. You might opt to try and punt and pin the other team, play for that field position. But when you're Hamilton, again, as Jock alluded to, different things in their philosophy change because of the score. If you got a chance to even take a shot at points, you got to take that shot at points. That time it pays off for the Tiger Cats.
9.5 to go. Third quarter. Let's take another look, and there's Hairelau getting a high five from Anthony Chaffee, who really has changed the game early in that first half. That interception. William Powell sent back for a loss. Key now is the Hamilton defense. They haven't had too many answers for Trevor Harris and the Red Blacks today.
No, they certainly haven't. You know, they've tried to get pressure on Trevor Harris. Trevor Harris he's thrived, quite frankly, against the Hamilton blitz package, getting the ball out in a hurry as receivers have been on the same page, making their adjustments, breaking off routes and so on to catch those quick throws. Very efficient performance in the passing game by Trevor Harris and the entire Red Blacks offense.
Efficient on second down, 9 for 13. And that one out of reach. A rare 2-and-out for the Ottawa Red Blacks after 14 straight receptions and completions from Trevor Harris.
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you, Rod, a little bit of that comes from the fact that they got a stop on first down, a big-time stop, forcing them into a 2nd and 10 situation. Ottawa in the first half of this football game on first downs averaged 7.5 yards on their first down plays, which puts Trevor Harris in a very strong operating position on second down.
Richie Leone. Frankie Williams makes one miss, but not a gang of Red Blacks right after that. Well, Jeremiah Masoli had some magic here a couple of years ago, almost led his team to the Grey Cup in Ottawa. Right now needs to get his Ticats moving. Down 33-16 in the CFL Eastern Final. Shaw road to the Grey Cup. Continues after this. Head out west to McMahon Stadium in Calgary. Matt Nichols in the Blue Bombers. It's Bo Levi Mitchell, the West Division most outstanding player. Coming up. By the way, the home teams have won the East and West Finals the last 4 years in a row. First place winners in the division. Masoli stepping up. A lot to that home cooking. There are some people, Dwayne, that feel that rhythm is good, play in as Justin Buren makes that catch. There is a lot to be made about getting that rest, getting healthy, and having that home field.
Yeah, you see what the trend is saying in recent years, obviously. Home field, rest against an opponent that has to go through a tough playoff game. Yeah, I'll take that first place bye every time.
Soli sends out 5 receivers. Jukes one way and then right into a sack. There's a flag down. Avery Ellis. Now, Ben Major made the call. He is that 8th official protecting the quarterback. Basically a quarterback ref. And did Jeremiah Masoli get hit to the head here? There's Ben. That's that 8th official.
Major foul. Roughing the passer. 98 Ottawa. Contact to the head. This is a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
So The first game that this new official has been implemented, Ben Major makes this call. And all he's doing is watching Masoli. And it was helmet to helmet, Masoli running into Ellis.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, so I just won't say it.
Don't say it then. Noel Thorpe might say it for you. That's the issue. Now Alex Green goes to work here. Dances up to the 32-yard line. So much has been made. And the obvious thing is to protect the quarterbacks.
Yeah,
but that...
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you put the 8th official on the field and he's not usually there. What are the odds that the 8th official is going to make a call during a game? Guaranteed at some point during the game when he gets thrown out there and it's this new thing, he's going to make a call. Guaranteed. And it just happened. Jeremiah Masoli ran into Avery Ellis on that play. You know, and this is where I think the officials in general need to get back into starting to judge intent when they make calls.
Masoli steps up. Addison hauls it in. Out of bounds, first down.
Consecutive game over 100 yards for Braylon Addison.
Crowd voicing its displeasure still over that call. Again, Commissioner Randy Ambrosi and the head office putting that extra official on the field after a couple of weeks of botched calls where quarterbacks were pummeled and there were no penalties and they affected games. Masoli again. Slant. Inside the 10-yard line. So
yeah,
what do you do?
Missed calls are going to happen. That's part of the human element of the game. They've tried to address some aspects of that with instant replay. They've tried to address aspects of that with the eye in the sky. It's never going to be perfect. There are 24 players on the field. We can't officiate the game by putting 24 officials on the field too. I just don't think it's the way to go.
Logic says that it can come from command or buzz down.
Yeah, or accept the fact that occasionally a call is going to get missed.
That's
life. That's sports.
Second down and 3. Masoli, here comes the blitz. Has to spin now. And he throws it away. Jonathan Newsom breathing down Jeremiah Masoli's neck. And again, the drive will stall, and it's Lirim Hairolahu. The Cats are going to take the points, but field goals are not going to get it done. With time ticking down. Down 17.
It's kind of like playing that prevent defense when you're Ottawa. Hamilton's using up the clock on these drives. You know, you'll let them get a little bit back at a time. 3 at a time isn't going to kill you if you can bend but don't break. So using up time is becoming Hamilton's enemy with each one of these drives that ends in a field goal.
True possession ball game again here in Ottawa. We understand Ben Major was not the official that made that call. It was Andre Prue, the head official, who made that call. Let's go down to Matthew Shinetti.
But even to the point about Ben Major, I had a chance to speak to him before the game, Rod. He took me through his week. There has been so much close orientation about what he was looking for. He was supposed to stay as far away on the left side as he could to be able to view what was going on with the quarterback, move with the quarterback. And I also spoke to Andre Prue. He and Ben Major were part of a 3-hour session yesterday to go over everything. And the one thing that Andre Prue told me, he said, I would rather there be a close call than there be a phantom call. Those are the calls we do not want, guys.
Phantom.
Well, they will look at that call after this game. See how that call does affect. Now, 3 points were put on the board. 14-point lead for the REDBLACKS. Harris sends out everybody. Quick hitter here. And a stiff arm from R.J. Harris. Josh Johnson. Close to a first down.
Well, teammates when this season started. As Josh Johnson was an Ottawa REDBLACK.
R.J. Harris was wincing a little bit, like he hurt that left hand as that straight arm on Johnson.
Yeah, may have. You saw him connect with the face mask, may even have possibly caught a finger momentarily there in between the bars.
Dominic Davis plunges for the first down. Had a chance to, again, sit down with the players and teams yesterday, talk with the coaches and Trevor Harris and Jeremiah Masoli. You and I both sensed different attitudes on both sidelines.
Yeah, and definite confidence from both teams, but different kinds of confidence. Hamilton definitely pretty loose. That's kind of become part of their personality, part of their vibe, and that's, you know, not loose in an unprepared way by any stretch.
Trevor Harris, oh, quick catch! RJ, the Harris to Harris connection. Whereas Ottawa, also with confidence, but very businesslike.
Yeah, I would describe it as a polite confidence. RJ Harris, the trailing receiver in this trips formation. Combination of routes puts Hamilton in a position where the free safety has to chase that out from the middle of the field.
Ottawa REDBLACKS have been dining a lot in Hamilton territory today. Here they are again.
And they just want to keep the ball moving and keep the clock moving. You're the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
June Jones, Terry Glanville trying to devise something here. Just need to force some turnovers here in this second half. Looks like they're coming off the edge. Blitz package. Again Harris. Slicing, dicing. Dominic Rhymes. First catch. 9 different receivers. Have you caught anything yet? Everybody getting in on the act.
Well, you just talk about the depth. We'll talk specifically even about the American receivers in this football game for Ottawa. Like, you consider over the last few years, they've lost Ernest Jackson, lost Chris Williams, lost Jerron Kreiner. Joshua Stangby is a guy who played a lot for them past years. Kenny Shaw. And they just keep rolling guys out. RJ Harris, Dominique Rhymes.
Setting up another receiver. And it's Brendan Galanders. Touchdown!
The hometown boy, Brendan Galanders.
The former Gigi. Different receivers. 5 touchdown passes for Trevor Harris, who is enjoying his greatest moment in the CFL Sun.
Anybody that questioned Trevor Harris's ability to get it done in a big game, I think has suddenly fallen silent. Harris, tremendous effort here thus far today.
Lewis Ward pours it through. And this one is almost getting out of reach now for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And the Ottawa REDBLACKS are just pouring it on. Brendan Galanders, like Brad Sinopoli, like Lewis Ward, a former Ottawa Gigi, a hometowner. And how good must this feel for Galanders?
Yeah, Trevor Harris gets credit for the touchdown pass, but Brendan Galanders did the heavy lifting on that one.
And by the way, another souvenir.
See Galanders turn on the Jets. This is a guy, takes some reps at fullback, fills in at running back. Terrific special teamer. Started his career with the Toronto Argonauts, and now rewarded with touchdown number 1.
So in your fantasy playoff predictions, did you have Marco Dubois and did you have Brendan Galanders?
Hey, you gotta love that Canadian depth. Good Canadian role players.
We all get one.
Remember, it was Keenan LaFrance here a couple of years ago.
Fuck yeah, we all get one. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
$39-13 is the score. Trevor Harris is tied a CFL playoff record. Number of players at 5, one more, and he will stand alone in the record books. Bernie Filoni's on that list, Ronnie Lancaster, Ken Hobart, Danny Barrett, AC, Anthony Calvillo, and Tom O'Malley. Played in Ottawa back in the 50s. Offense, defense, getting it done for the Ottawa REDBLACKS here. Just a minute left in the third quarter.
Yeah, and to Jock's earlier point about that offensive philosophy, I mean, it's not just that you have to throw the ball, but play action, all sorts of stuff goes out the window when you get in this situation for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. You're just dropping back and throwing the ball on virtually every play as they're trying to get some yards and get some points in quick a fashion as they can.
Masoli, desperation time now. Is down the rail, far side, jump ball, incomplete, knocked out of bounds. Big defensive play on that far sideline.
Yeah, Mike Jones came down hard.
Mike Jones is hurt. Rico Murray, the former Hamilton Tiger Cat, in coverage. All-star this year, Grey Cup champion last year with Toronto. Not too many blemishes for the REDBLACKS today. An emotional mistake earlier on Jonathan Rose's part, getting booted out of this ball game, and could face further discipline from the league.
Yeah, assuming, and it's early to assume, but should Ottawa advance to the Grey Cup, you have to wonder if that's going to become an issue for them. Again, a key defender. Lost for at least the balance of this football game following his disqualification for contacting an official.
Trevor Harris has pitched an almost perfect game. Lewis Ward, who's had the streak of all streaks as a field goal kicker, has actually missed a couple of converts today. Those are nitpicky things for the REDBLACKS, who have played as complete a game as you can play in an elimination game. They force the Cats to kick again. Deontay Spencer is back. They will put the kicker onside here. It looks like Haralahu with an onside punt. This could work. Nope. They bring it down. 39-19 REDBLACKS.
Commentator Outdoor Clothing is brought to you by Nobis. This is Nobis.
Well, interesting decision by Hamilton, taking the gamble, trying to get the ball back immediately with the short kick, lining people up onside. A bit of an indication of the trouble that they're having stopping Ottawa's offense, quite frankly, that they don't look to take their chances, kind of swing the field with a punt, try and hold them deep and get a shorter field on the next possession. The way Ottawa's offense has been going, that's just not something you want to count on from a Hamilton point of view.
Harris still throwing to R.J. Harris, another completion. And right now, how good is Trevor Harris? 5 touchdown passes. He's tied a CFL playoff record. Right now, near 90%, which would be a CFL playoff record. The previous, an Ottawa Rough Rider great.
Yeah, fittingly, Russ Jackson holds the current record. Completion percentage within a game, 85.7%. Trevor Harris currently at 89.7.
26-29. A brilliant day so far for Harris. Second down again. William Powell.
And move the chains.
Talk all you want about second down conversions, but first down yardage has helped the REDBLACKS out. They're 15 minutes away from Their third trip to the Grey Cup in 4 years. Panel having fun, Red Black fans having fun. Ottawa's 9-1 this season with the lead heading to the fourth quarter. Heading to the fourth quarter in the CFL's Eastern Final, we expected a tight one here. Maybe another epic battle as we had in 2015. Not so much. It's been all Ottawa Red Blacks. It has been all Trevor Harris.
Yeah, it certainly has. Trevor Harris came out right from the start of this football game, operating very efficiently, very effectively, moving the ball down the field, and the pace has not slowed at all. Yeah, the Ottawa Red Blacks have benefited from a couple of turnovers that gave them a short field. In both instances, they scored on the very next play. But offensively, I mean, Trevor Harris has been the key, a guy who has been questioned, it seems, throughout this season, somewhat unfairly. And, you know, even at that has proven any doubters wrong.
Well, he again has a couple of Grey Cup rings. Played behind Ricky Ray when the Argos won. Played behind
Father Time.
Our man Henry Burris here in Ottawa. Powell goes left side. There were times when Trevor Harris took the reins, even when Henry was here. And of course, Trevor Harris, for 7 CFL seasons, has the highest completion percentage. And by the way, that number there pales in comparison to what he's doing today.
Yeah, exactly. Up that by another 19%. Here in the Eastern Final.
Second down, they lost a half yard. Harris untouched today, and over the top. Look out! Greg Ellingson is going to score. Touchdown, Ottawa!
And record for Trevor Harris. 6th touchdown pass of the day.
Trevor Harris stands alone in CFL playoff history. Wow.
And Greg Ellingson, watch right down the hash mark, middle of the field. Greg Ellingson, double move out, comes back underneath on Donunamba, finds himself wide open. Trevor Harris puts it on him, Greg Ellingson does the rest.
The cat killer.
Yeah, Ellingson, former Cat. Once again coming back to haunt his former team.
Lewis Ward trying to make the convert. He does this time. We are not worthy today. Wow, what a show this guy's put on. The Ohio native with his family watching, enjoying every minute of it. From the shadows to the spotlight. The guy who was the backhand receiving end of the miracle on Bank Street 3 years ago. Receiving end of a record breaker for Trevor Harris this time. Different quarterback, same end zone for Greg Ellingson. And you wonder if Trevor Harris might be shut down here in this fourth quarter soon, as this game is getting out of hand. Talked about it last week in the Cats-Lions game. We didn't see that one coming. I don't think we saw this one coming by this score either.
No, two teams that on paper match up pretty well.
Frankie Williams. Six-pack day for Trevor Harris. CFL playoff record. Eclipses a number of legends.
Well, keep an eye right here on Greg Ellingson. You're going to see the route start off as an out and then swirl back underneath. Defender Unumba overruns it. He starts from inside leverage, thinking he's got to get on his horse to cover the out route. Ellingson uses his momentum against him as he cuts it back underneath.
Masoli whips one into Mike Jones, fumbled football. Whistle had blown, they say. You wonder how much motivation Trevor Harris might have also had leading up to this week with all the talk about Jeremiah Masoli and the outstanding player, and certainly well-deserved for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Jeremiah might be the most outstanding player in the East in the regular season, but today, the most outstanding player on this field?
Yeah, leave no doubt, right? Trevor Harris has done that today, and you could certainly have made a case for either of these two terrific quarterbacks as the East nominee.
Flag down, you're right. Let's go down to John Climby.
Well, guys, I can't help but marvel at the performance by Harris. And as I watched him salute the crowd after each of his last 2 touchdown passes, I couldn't help but think he's got a couple of things in his head. One is, can't believe you chose Masoli as MOP. And the second thing is this knock, so-called against him for not being able to win the big game. And he commented on this earlier in the week and said, wait a second, I've had one opportunity in the semifinal game against Saskatchewan last year. He threw for 457 yards, guys, and yet the knock, so-called, is that he can't win the big game. I think he's settled that now.
In a number of ways, Jocko. Alex Crane brought down. Well, they're in 3-down territory now with 12 minutes to go. Hamilton Tiger Cats now go 2nd and 6.
I'll tell you, I think that the knock on Trevor Harris began as questions about whether Trevor Harris could get it done in crunch time, within games. Well, you looked at the numbers we put up earlier. Trevor Harris second only to Mike Riley over the last few years in terms of fourth quarter game-winning drive. So I think he's erased that doubt. Even that doubt was questionable. And then it becomes about the playoff thing. And well, yeah, John talked about last year's numbers, and we know what's going on today.
Luke Tasker into Ottawa side of the field. 27-point deficit.
Yeah, if the Ticats are to go down, this is a team that'll go down swinging. Tremendous group of competitors over there, led by the likes of quarterback Jeremiah Masoli and Luke Tasker.
Tasker, an East Division All-Star. Here comes the blitz. Draw play. Read perfectly by the Red Blacks front. Again, the Cats will have representation at the awards next week. Brandon Revenberg for outstanding lineman. Larry Dean, outstanding defensive player. Jeremiah, outstanding player.
And don't think that bigger picture. You know, I mean, I don't think that the MOP thing is a big concern to Trevor Harris. I think Trevor is very much a we guy, not a me guy, and isn't concerned about individual awards. But big picture, when you're Ottawa and you're the first place team in the division and you look at Hamilton getting all the award nominations, yeah, that can be a motivating factor.
Hauling it in once more. Tasker ducks under a tackle. Now the motivation, the mantra or the motto for the Ottawa Redblacks through this season, as Rick Campbell, their head coach, one of the most likable guys you'll ever meet, has always said, their secret sauce is arrow up. Arrow up, meaning every day you get better. Every day you walk to the stadium, you walk on the field, you are better.
Bring a positive attitude.
Misfire that time for Justin Buren. Well, here is the coach on his team.
I actually said all the way back towards the end of training camp that there was something about this team that had the right stuff about it, the right chemistry, the right work ethic, the right grittiness to it. And it's not always something you can describe exactly to people, but I think that's kind of the secret sauce, is the stuff that you can't quite define. You just know it's a feeling that you get, and our guys have had that.
Now they've had their bumps in the road. They've been awfully good, and they've been great today. Sean Thomas Erlington. Put on a clinic. By the way, Rick Campbell also connected Jerry Glanville, the defensive coordinator. Rick's dad, of course, a legend in the Canadian Football League, part of the Eskimos dynasty, was a Houston Oilers coach in the 80s. Jerry Glanville was a defensive coordinator for Hugh Campbell, who then took the job with the Oilers back in the 80s.
As June Jones said it yesterday, he was around Houston at a similar time. Houston Gamblers.
Here's the rush. Thomas Erlington brought down. Time ticks away. Ottawa can feel it. They can start punching tickets to Edmonton. Another shot at another Grey Cup.
Masoli again under siege. Quick hitter Sean Thomas Erlington. Kai Hebert, the ageless wonder, flying around getting it done.
And Jerry Glanville sitting down on this one. Offense on the field, needing points and in a bunch, in a hurry. Addison scrapping for every yard. Will not get the first down. It'll be third down. Game got away from Hamilton, though, in the second quarter.
Yeah, pair of interceptions. Only 2 turnovers in this football game, but they really loom large as both of them were instantly cashed in as touchdowns and completely changed the momentum of this football game. Changed the face of the game. Again, as the margin grows, it changes the way you call your plays. It takes you out of your game plan, both offensively and defensively.
And going to the end zone for the touchdown, Jeremiah Masoli. You don't see that too often. So Masoli keeps the pulse beating, but it's faint.
We'll take a look. Masoli stays in to run that short yardage offense. They've got numbers to the right side of that field, right side of the formation. Masoli takes it there around the tackle and in. To inch a little bit closer. Ticats will go for 2 here.
Try to make this a 19-point game. Looks like they'll get it. 2 points. Stadium a little quieter midway through the fourth. You said it, Dwayne, though. This Hamilton team, the Cats, they scrap, they scrape, they scratch, and still trying to stay in it in the Eastern Final. The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by Shaw, proud to present the 106th Grey Cup. Be in Edmonton next week. It looks like the Ottawa REDBLACKS, barring some sort of miracle here by the Hamilton Tiger Cats, or a complete collapse, will be off to another Grey Cup game. Won it in 2016. We're there in 2015. Onside kick. Grasped by Dominic Rhymes. They had the hands team out.
That's Felix Faubert-Lucier with the kick for Hamilton. Backup receiver, their backup kicker. Create a little bit of misdirection as he lines up as one of the inside guys on the cover team, with his approach coming from the opposite side of Liram Hajrullahu.
Trevor Harris still in the ball game, and you'd have to think this might be his last series, and one thing that O-line wants to do is protect their quarterback. They'll need him next week. This game well in hand, it appears. Might start pulling some of their regulars. Well, Trevor Harris, you have done what no other quarterback has ever done before. 6 touchdown passes in a CFL playoff game. Not even the great Russ Jackson did that.
Yeah, when you make Russ Jackson look just okay, you've had a hell of a day.
Mr. Jackson, as we will call him, was not just okay.
One of the legends of the game.
Was, and a great, great man and a great quarterback. There's Dominic Rhymes. And by the way, Mr. Jackson, Trevor's taking aim at another record of yours.
Now, I don't think there will ever come a day in Ottawa where they will say Russ who. There will never come a day, but Trevor Harris is looking pretty good today.
It has been the Trevor Harris show from the opening kick. 90% passing. 6 touchdown passes. 371 yards in the air. You know what Trevor Harris will say after this game? You know what he'll say. We're going to the Grey Cup.
And if you know Trevor Harris, there will be an emphasis on the we.
Campbell talked about that yesterday. Harris has answered those questions about the big game philosophy because people have asked the question.
Yes.
Perhaps unknowing that he's only played in one playoff game. Let it not be said ever again that Trevor Harris can't win a big game. The guy's done it before. And now the biggest game is 4.5 minutes and a week ahead.
Well,
good job Rick Campbell's done, Dwayne.
Well, he certainly has. It was, interesting. Rico Murray among the players we chatted with yesterday, and his comment, I love playing for Rick Campbell. He's the ultimate players coach.
Lewis Ward trying to keep his playoff field goal record streak alive. This one, and it's wide. Something he hasn't done in a long time. Miss a field goal. Running it out is Frankie Williams. That is Lewis Ward's first miss in 150 days. 5 months. Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Ward, your son is human. Well, time for our Shaw connection of the game. Shaw, super fan and proud sponsor of the CFL.
Trevor Harris has found 10 different receivers in this football game. On that particular play, he found Greg Ellingson for a record-setting touchdown. That was Trevor Harris's CFL playoff record 6th touchdown pass of the game, and that is our Shaw connection of the game.
I think he's done. You'd have to think. 90.6% has set 2 CFL records. By the way, we should also clarify, Lewis Ward, his streak, by the way, continues. 48 in a row. It's a regular season record. Has missed now in the playoffs. And of course, he has the pro football all-time consecutive field goals record. Born in England, grew up in Switzerland. Came to Ottawa, was a security guard last year. We talked to some of the security guards about Lewis before the game today.
They said he's a better kicker than a security guard.
Masoli. Sidearm for Marquay McDaniel's first catch. The midfield stripe as the clock ticks towards the 3-minute warning. Lewis Ward up for 2 awards next week. Outstanding rookie, outstanding special teams player. He'll join Brad Sinopoli at the awards dinner for most outstanding Canadian against Andrew Harris, who with the Bombers are up next. Masoli gets drilled and gets picked. Game, set, match. Get ready for the Grey Cup, Ottawa. The Red Blacks are on their way.
Well, Anthony Chaffee, who had the interception in the second quarter, supplies the pressure.
That kind of day. 3-minute warning. Sherrod Baltimore the pick. He's still in the game.
James Duthie in Calgary getting set for the West Final, where Bo Levi Mitchell and the Stamps try to get to a third straight Grey Cup game and a shot at an alternate ending from the last two. The Bombers trying to get to their first in 7 years. It's coming up immediately after the East. Rod and Dwayne.
All right, thank you, James. Back here in the nation's capital, Hamilton did challenge roughing the passer on that interception. Andre Proulx now has the decision from CFL command.
After review, there is no roughing the passer on the play. Hamilton will be charged with their final timeout. First down, Ottawa.
That won't matter. This game is over. 3 minutes to go. There was the hit. Are you surprised right now that Trevor Harris is still in this ballgame?
I'm shocked that Trevor Harris is still in the ballgame. I thought when they lined up for their last field goal that would certainly be his last series.
You're already on your way to the Grey Cup. You're already got your tickets punched. I would think that this would be pretty conservative, though, for Trevor Harris.
Yeah, you got to assume he's out there to hand off the football, but even at that,
you just never know. Everything rides on him next week. Let's go down to Matthew Shinetti.
Back in 2016, when the Red Blacks won their first Grey Cup, Trevor Harris and William Powell were on the sidelines. William Powell had a foot injury that ended his season, and Trevor Harris was really moments away from going into the game after there was that injury, or at least in warm-up, that injury to Henry Burris. Both players told us earlier yesterday that they were devastated not being able to take part in that game, especially Trevor Harris, who said that he thought about it for so long. The fact that he warmed up but didn't play stuck with him for a while. William Powell said it also stuck with him for a very long time. And just a few series ago, Trevor Harris came off. He looked at me, he smiled and said, "Big game, guys."
Big game players in big games. And now he gets ready for the biggest game next week. William Powell again. Powell has been good. But Trevor Harris today has orchestrated the greatest performance by a quarterback in CFL playoff history. This was 2016.
Yes, sir. Henry Burris recovering from a pregame injury to play that game, throw the overtime game-winning touchdown pass to Ernest Jackson.
Harris might not have been on the field, nor was Powell in that game. Keep in mind, though, they were big parts of that 2016 season.
Yeah, certainly, you know, Trevor Harris again. This is a guy with a couple of Grey Cup rings. One with Toronto, one with Ottawa. He knows what it takes. He's been there. Now we'll get his first opportunity to start a Grey Cup game, employing some of those lessons learned from Ricky Ray and Henry Burris.
And again, the home team wins the Eastern Final. And for this one, there was hardly any doubt.
Hey, let's take it home.
After halftime. Turns and hands again. Harris talked about this game yesterday with us and said you have to manage your emotions. One thing he learned is that you don't have to do it all by yourself. You don't have to be Superman. Or you can.
Yeah.
Or you can. He was super today. Chanting, "We want the cup." showing some rather vicious scoreboard shots. Wrestling.
Well, is that Ric Flair?
I think it is. It is Ric Flair. You can hear the whoos in the crowd. I'm not sure even Ric Flair would have helped the Cats here in this second half.
Simone Lawrence in a big collision with Jason Lauzon-Seguin. Lawrence was slow to get up. He's made his way to the sideline.
This is unnecessary. Keto Whitlock in. Best thing for both teams is let it count down. Red Blacks get ready for next week. Cats get ready for next season. As Simone Lawrence said earlier, everybody's got helmets on. This is really inconsequential. So good, so dynamic last week. Not enough this week. Red Black attack, unstoppable. Second and 13. I don't think you can take the ball away from Trevor Harrison this one. He's had it most of the game. Again, tempers flare here. For the Red Blacks, they've got to get out of that. Last thing you want to do is get a fine, a suspension, or get hurt.
Already got one of their starters sitting on pins and needles waiting to hear what his fate may be for the big game. Absolutely nothing to gain for either team.
Well, it was a clean sweep for the Red Blacks this year over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 4 games played. 4 games triumphant. They'll turn the ball over here. They'll take another knee. And again, the flags fly. Under the age-old laws of sportsmanship, wouldn't you just let this, just let it go?
Offside, Hamilton number 49, 5-yard penalty will repeat third down.
So this will be likely the final play. Cats' ride will end in the nation's capital. Inconsolable Simone Lawrence.
And I appreciate the desire to go down swinging, but this is
stupid.
Well, it is. This is taking it too far. Win with dignity, lose with dignity.
Guy who would never stop scrapping to the end, Simone. It has been an extraordinary journey coming back to the CFL. 5 years in, now their 3rd trip to a championship game. And their quarterback had the game of his life at the perfect time. Six touchdowns, a CFL record, highest percentage in a playoff game. Would you just let the clock run out already?
That's what the Ticats are doing.
The motto, arrow up. Ottawa Red Blacks, arrow up. Back to the Grey Cup.
Zeros on the clock. We'll get one more snap and let the celebration begin. here at TD Place Stadium.
Red Blacks, Eastern champions again. We will see you in Edmonton. Let's go down to Matthew Shinetti with Trevor Harris.
Trevor, you were behind Ricky Ray in 2012, and you were behind Henry Burris in 2016. Now you're the man. You're taking your team to the Grey Cup. What does that mean to you?
It's really exciting. I'm fired up about it. You live for the big moments, the big games, and so I'm just glad we were able to pull this out as a team. A great team win today. And your offensive line was awesome today. Wide receivers were awesome. Jamie Elizondo put together an awesome plan. So it all came together. We've just got to bring it next week. We'll enjoy this for a couple hours and we'll move on.
Trevor, I've seen you in this league since you came in 2012, and so many people have tried to define you. Today, you broke records. How do you hope this league now defines you?
I just want my teammates to believe in me. That's it. I don't care what they say.
We'll see you in Edmonton.
Appreciate it.
One of the greatest performances in playoff history, if not the greatest. Nissan Titan player of the game, undoubtedly, number 7.
Yeah, I mean, we've spent the fourth quarter talking about it. 29 of 32. Ridiculous completion percentage. 367 yards. A playoff record. A CFL playoff record. 6 touchdown passes, no interceptions. An absolutely monstrous performance. He spread the ball around to 10 different receivers in this football game. Who said Trevor Harris can't win the big one?
Not me, not you.
Whoever it was,
you're wrong.
Can just shut up. Trevor Harris is our Nissan Titan player of the game.
Well said. Brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. And Trevor Harris and Jeremiah Masoli. That's why this league is in such good hands. And the Harris family. Pops, they made the drive up. Watch him so many times. Now they are going to get ready to reserve some tickets for Edmonton, Alberta in the 106th Grey Cup. And abject disappointment for Jeremiah Masoli. Last time here in this game, 2015, came so close. This one was only close after the national anthem.
Yeah, the Ottawa Red Blacks. They were the best team during the regular season. And they proved themselves to be the best team in the East Division playoffs. And left absolutely no doubt with their performance today.
They did it in the air, they did it on the ground. Let's go down to Matthew again.
William, you did not get a chance to play in that 2016 Grey Cup. You're going to Edmonton now. How prepared is this team to win a championship again?
This team is very prepared. Anytime the pressure's on and we have that sense of urgency and we feel like we need to win, we play big time. And we're going to bring that to the Grey Cup. We're so ready.
Your quarterback, what did he show the league? We have seen him. We know inside the locker room the faith this team has. What did he prove to the league today?
I feel like he proved he's the best under pressure. You know, this is a big-time game. Those guys played outstanding football against BC, and we came out and he dominated. We kept him upright, and he was delivering the ball all over the field, and he showed how great he is.
What's the preparation going to take heading into Edmonton?
Just the same as always. Got to get a good game plan going. We got to execute, and we got to bring that sense of urgency.
See you next week.
For the third time in the last 5 years, the Ottawa Redblacks have advanced to the Grey Cup game. They'll play for the championship against either the Calgary Stampeders or the Winnipeg Blue Bombers next week. Let's go down to Rod Smith now for the presentation of the Eastern Trophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Red Blacks fans, you've seen this before and you're about to see it again. It's time to hand out the hardware and the East Division Championship Trophy to the Ottawa Red Blacks. And to do that, it's a pleasure to welcome one of the greats in the history of Ottawa football, an all-star receiver during the great Rough Rider years of the 1960s, a two-time Grey Cup champion, a Canadian Football Hall of Famer. Here to make the presentation to Rick Campbell is Whit Tucker. Whit.
Thanks very much, Rod. It's a great pleasure to be here this evening to watch Ottawa win the Eastern Championship. My worst fears did not materialize. I don't have to give it to a Hamilton team. So I knew you'd be happy about that, and I'm so happy that we won, and we're going to go to the Grey Cup next weekend, and we'll see you all there in Edmonton. Thank you, and Coach, thank you very much.
Now, I know you didn't bother with the presentation here because I checked with Rick beforehand. You're not touching that trophy, are you? No. Let me come over and talk to you and congratulate you here. You've done this before, you and the Red Blacks, to win the East, to go on to the Grey Cup game. Third time in 4 years, winning it all 2 years ago. What about this team in 2018, and what about it, the way they played today, impressed you the most?
The thing that impresses me the most are the Red Blacks fans are the best in the world. So good on these guys. These players are the guys that make it happen. They were well prepared and ready to go, and I'm glad it worked out. And we still have more business to do, and we're looking forward to being in Edmonton next week.
I know Trevor Harris was asked about this earlier this week, talked about it being a team game. I do want to ask you about his performance, and did you see that as a statement when there have been critics and wondering about him winning the big game?
We don't worry about the critics. We're just we're the Red Blacks, and we win together, and that's what we did.
How confident did you feel having beaten Hamilton all 3 times you met in the regular season coming into this game?
Well, we talked about it. I don't think it mattered when it's playoff football and there's a one game, and that's what it's all about. So I don't think that really factored in. I knew these guys were ready to go, and they came through in a big way.
Okay, and just finally, I know the city of Edmonton means a lot to you for your football career. I know you've faced the Eskimos in the past. What will it mean to you personally to go to play a Grey Cup game in Edmonton?
I'm just excited to go to the Grey Cup, and like I said, this is all about the Red Blacks, and we'll all be in Edmonton next week.
Heading off to the Grey Cup, as mentioned for the 3rd time in 4 years, Rick Campbell and the East Division champion, Ottawa Red Blacks.
Yeah, the celebration will last maybe a few more hours, then back to work. Dwayne, you've been in this situation before. You played in the Grey Cup games. You won a couple of championships. What does it mean for a team like the Ottawa Red Blacks to have so much sustained success leading into a game?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you aim for, is not to have it be a flash in the pan, not to be one-hit wonders, but you aim to build an organization where this is what you expect. You know, you go into the season every year, 9 teams, their plan, their goal is to be in the Grey Cup game, is to win the Grey Cup game. The Ottawa Red Blacks are the first team.
There's Noel Thorpe, defensive coordinator, coming over from Montreal, and the job he has done for this team. And defensively today, everybody's going to talk about Trevor Harris, and that's on the marquee. That's the headline. But don't forget some of those subplots.
Yeah, the game turned on 2 second-quarter interceptions. Changed the face of this game. Anthony Chaffee had the first one. Jeremiah Masoli under a little bit of pressure. Jonathan Rose turns in the second. Again, whether it was pressure, cross signals for Hamilton offensively. Sherrod Baltimore put it away with one at the end. Just strong complementary football from the Ottawa Red Blacks in this football game. Offense and defense together, getting it done.
Henry Burris will never have to buy a meal in this town for what happened, of course, back in 2016. But Trevor Harris has added his own lore, a new legend perhaps, and Russ Jackson can even move over because Trevor Harris had the single greatest game any quarterback has had in postseason history.
Yeah, well, and I think for Trevor Harris, again, the guy who has been a bridesmaid in a sense as the backup quarterback on a couple of Grey Cup winners, will now get his opportunity to sort of carve his own Grey Cup story.
Back up, arrow up, onto the Grey Cup. Trevor Harris. Harris family celebrate here in the nation's capital tonight. 3 times in 4 years, the Ottawa Red Blacks are headed to the CFL championship game. Let's send it over to Rod Smith and the panel in the end zone.
All right, thank you, Rod. Back with Henry Burris and Matt Dunnigan and Milt Stiegel. And Milt, I'm not going to start with Henry on this question, but greatest performance by a quarterback in CFL playoff history, or by a Red Blacks quarterback in the brief history of this Ottawa football team. Let's just talk about Trevor Harris and what he did on this day. Especially, we talked before this game about he did seem sensitive about any kind of suggestion that he couldn't win a big game.
Well, Henry Burris' drive is now Trevor Harris' way, so he's taking over that. But that was an exceptional performance right there. I didn't see that coming. We knew Trevor Harris was capable of that, but the problem with Trevor Harris has been consistency. Some games he plays that way, and other games he plays where he's throwing for less than 100 yards. But that performance right there was spectacular. Wow. And the thing I was impressed with the most was when he came out in that second half and he said, okay, you guys think you have some momentum? I'm going to show you how much momentum you have. I'm going to show you, shut the door on this game. And that's exactly what him and that offense did.
Yeah, Milt, I was a little disappointed in Trevor's first half performance. He missed 2 throws in the first 30 minutes of the game. And he picked it up and he dialed into the second half, and he only missed 1 throw in the second 30 minutes of playing. 3 TDs in the first half, 3 TDs in the second half, and it was actually outstanding, man. It was just, how good does that feel? That's Sir Vincent Rogers, one of the best offensive linemen in the league right there. Come up and say hello to us. He's pretty excited. Instrumental that those guys up front did a phenomenal job of giving Trevor Harris plenty of opportunity to push the ball down the field and spread the love. And spread the love he did. I mean, 10
different receivers.
It was absolutely phenomenal performance. And just like last week, I thought it was important for the Hamilton Tiger Cats to quickly get over the victory over the BC Lions. They weren't able to do that. I think the same holds true for the Red Blacks getting ready for next week. Got to put this one to bed, enjoy it, get on with it.
I think we talked about it before the game started. We didn't mention it on air, but it's something how this organization, you don't see a lot of organizations where a quarterback who, of course, myself being a part of that 2016 team and moving on, a team being able to recover. But this organization has found a way to keep a competitive team on the field. They brought in Trevor, they groomed him for that moment, and now here they are
groomed him for that moment.
Well, here they are back in that moment, going to another Grey Cup. It takes most organizations a number of years to be able to recover, to get back to the show. But here's Ottawa being able to do it again with some of the same names that have been doing it.
Happiest guy on that team right now is Jonathan Rose.
Tell me about it.
Jonathan Rose.
We wondered what kind of change out caused momentum-wise, and they ended up just taking off in the second half again. By the way, Sir Vincent comes over. I'm sure you want to share some love to the offensive line, too, because as the quarterbacks pointed out, James, Trevor Harris had a lot of time to throw the football, and boy, did he ever throw it well on this day as Ottawa dominates the Hamilton Tiger Cats and off to the Grey Cup to represent the East again.
One step further, in retrospect, clearly it was a mistake.